From your dashboard view, the easiest way to schedule an appointment is to select the purchase order you wish to schedule and selecting the New Reservation button on the left. Please note that if you have multiple POs to schedule on this truck, you can multi-select by holding down the control button and selecting multiple POs before selecting New Reservation. Once you select New Reservation, a pop-up will appear showing the POs that you have selected. If you have additional POs to add to this reservation that you've not already selected, you can enter the PO number here. Please note that if you have a PO number that begins with 0, you should omit the leading 0 and continue with entering the remaining digits. If you have added the wrong PO to this reservation, select the trash can to delete it. This will not delete the PO from the system, just from this reservation. As you add or remove POs, you will notice that just above the reservation details section, you can see a total count for cases and pallets. To schedule, enter the carrier's DOT number. You will notice that the list filters as you type. Occasionally, a supplier may make an appointment at the DC before the carrier is known. Only in this case should you select Carrier Not Determined, which is an option in the live site. Once you have determined your carrier, you can return to the C3 website to amend the reservation to include the carrier information. Next, enter the origin zip code. This is where the freight is coming from and should be entered as a 5-digit numeric zip code. Lastly, enter who will unload the truck, driver or lumping service. While there is flexibility on this once the driver arrives at the DC, knowing ahead of time if lumping services are needed will allow the lumping service to adequately staff. This will ensure that your driver is not delayed at our DC. Once these fields are entered, you can view where the load is going by selecting where in the bottom right or on the left-hand side. The DC location is automatically entered based on PO number, so you will never have to enter information on this screen. Once you become comfortable with this process, please feel free to skip over the where step entirely and move directly to when. After you select when, it may take a moment for the schedule to generate. The screen will default to the due date of the PO and currently available appointment times will appear. While the screen defaults to the due date of the PO, please keep in mind that the majority of our DCs receive overnight. Therefore, in this example, we are directed to the due date of February 27th. We should first check appointments on February 26th at 10 p.m. or later before moving to times after midnight on February 22nd. This is because the receiving shift starts at 10 p.m. When multiple appointments are available, we ask that you choose the first available appointment for the shift. If it's not possible to deliver by that time, please choose an alternate time. If no appointments are available on the due date, you can select another date from the enabled dates on the calendar. Please remember that all POs are still due on the due date. All dates in the delivery window do not represent on-time dates. Only the due date is on time. If you schedule outside the delivery window, the shipment is considered seriously past due, and the buyer will be automatically notified, even though you're still able to make the reservation. If there are no appointments available or you cannot deliver by the available appointment times in the initially enabled delivery window, there are two options. First, with prior DC management approval, you can request a date by selecting the Request button. If you've skipped over available appointments, you will have to select Yes that you would like to request a date without availability. You will have to select a reason code, and then you can select Request Date Only. These requests are only monitored by DC staff during normal business hours. Please note that this request will only be accepted if the DC manager has provided prior approval. If you don't have prior approval from the DC manager, you can select Outside Delivery Window to enable additional dates to find an appointment that works for you. If you have bypassed available appointments within the initially enabled date range, a pop-up window will appear that will confirm that you would like to schedule outside of the delivery window. Once you select Yes, you will be able to look at additional dates. If no appointments were available within the initially enabled date range, no pop-up would appear and you can continue making your reservation. In this example, there were appointments available on the due date, and I'm going to select the first available for the shift. Once you find that appointment time, select it by clicking anywhere on the green bar. You will notice that the color green changes and you are now able to select Request. You must select Request in order to schedule the reservation. Once complete, you will see your POs on the reservation section up top. Another way to make a reservation is to go to the Reservations section and select the New Reservation button. From here, you will have to enter your PO number. Select Add PO or hit Enter. You can add as many POs as you need to for this truck. Next, enter the carrier's DOT number, origin zip code, and who will unload. Select When to find an available appointment. Remember that we receive overnight, so you'll first want to check the day before after 10 p.m. Make sure to select Request so that your appointment has gone through. Once your appointment has been made, you can track its status by reviewing your dashboard at any time.